Today we're going to try to fit all this into the back of there. Welcome back to another video from Xploremor.net. Today we're going to try to fit all this into the back of there. Everything you see from this bin over is always in the Jeep. That's for any short day runs, just nothing overnight, but this is what's in there all the time. It's all my tools and a bunch of spare parts, tie rod ends. Every tool I own is pretty much in here. I don't keep anything in the RV. Testers, hose clamps, fuses, all sorts of stuff, lots of extra bolts. Any tool I've ever used to work on the Jeep is in here. If I've had to fix something, change something, if I think I will, I put it in here. I don't keep it at home. Next bin, these rigid boxes are really great. I've gone through a lot of different ones these last. A little messy, but it's in there. Just about everything I've ever needed. Yeah, ball joints, tie rod ends, bushings, extra joints, all that's in there. Files, hose clamp or exhaust clamps, just different brackets. I may not break, but maybe a friend will, and I might have something in that box that'll get them out. Back here, these bags, it's just odds and ends, bungees, straps. In there is my air up kit. It's all 4 tires at once. I'll show you that in a little bit. Little winter gloves, hats. That's extra camera lenses, memory cards, compact lawn chairs, of course a hammock, big first aid kit, hammock straps, and all this, except for the straps, all fits in here. And this is other spare parts, clamps, fluids, yeah, stuff I've needed, you know, duct tape's down in there, some 2x4s for spacing, yeah, jack stand. We have a bottle jack. I also have on the back of the Jeep a high lift. I still also have the stock scissor jack that works even. And most importantly over here, got to have the water balloon slingshot. Got that just in case. So all that fits in the back of here easily. There's lots of extra room on our just everyday runs. And how we do that is we have this rack system back here that I made. Part of it, the support mechanisms, those are all best top. So you can just buy those separately. It's a kit that comes for TJ or JK because of the diameter of the roll bars. So you can buy this fairly cheap, and then I chose to go with a heavier rack than they offer. They offer a plastic one. It's only rated 150 pounds. This is a universal ATV rear rack. I got it on Amazon for like 75 bucks, and it's rated at 300 pounds. And that's what the supports are rated at, 300 pounds. And the basket they sell is only at 150. So went with this. I've rocked it on my last 2 JKs. Went with this here, and really doesn't double the space, but it definitely increases your access to stuff, because now you're not just stacking it super high, and I didn't like doing that. So with that underneath there, we've got our sand base plate for the high lift that's mounted underneath there, and that's about it. We also, when we're doing overland, we sometimes run just the 3-gallon that I picked up at a thrift store for 10 bucks, and I made a free mount out of it. So budget mount back here, just a sheet of steel. It was actually the cover for a circuit breaker box. yeah, strap that up there, bolted it on the spare tire rack, strap that on there, and I also have the capability for a 5-gallon, so that gives me 8 gallons off-road, total of 22, because I have a 14-gallon tank in here. Then, once we got all that stuff we normally keep in there, this is all of our camping gear. So what we have, this is cold weather, it's going to be cold this weekend, so we're bringing the Mummy North Face bags, bringing an instant tent. We have 2 air-up mattresses, the best ones, Thermarest. Those are the old types. They're bulletproof. Those are great. A couple moving blankets, and we call them super blankets, and 2 cots. Because the ground where we're going to be camping is very rocky, that's what we're going to do this weekend. If there's trees, we sleep in a hammock. If it's nice and smooth ground, we'll just lay right out on the floor, lay right on the ground, open space. Let's see, yeah. Cooking gear, pretty basic. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've whittled it down. Tried a bunch of different things. Double stoves. I do have all that stuff, but I just bring a single stove, single kerosene burner. Really simple, not much to it. In here is like a pot, cooking pot kettle. It's kind of like a wok, 2 plates, and then a smaller pan. In here's all our utensils, little cutting board, some seasoning, all fits in here. Really nice. I have 1 coffee pot. We're really simple when we go out and hit the trail. We'll basically go to Walmart or a grocery store and we'll pick up a frozen dinner. Those dinners for 2. Just throw it in the freezer and cook it up that night with I don't know, everything loaf of bread or something. But all this will fit. I'm going to piece it all back together today because we've got a trip this weekend. Be mapping up by St. George, Utah. Alright, so that's our setup and how we roll. That's how it's going to fit in this, which is a 1990 TJ Sahara. It has the straight 6, 5-speed. Has a Dana 44 swapped up front. It's been stretched up front about 3 inches because we have a radius long arm kit, a 4-link in the rear. It's also been stretched. I've had to cut out along the wheel wells. I had to notch the frame and put in shock towers. Did that last year. It's also got a Ford 8.8 in the rear with a posi lock in the rear and an aux locker up front. It's the cable actuated aux locker. I put on all this armor, front fenders, cheapos from Amazon. Hit me up if you want to know which ones they are. Rocker protection. Got a couple little holes down there from the rust. It's a Midwestern Jeep. Covered that up a little bit until we can get that patched, and then welded on some rock rails. Currently on 35 12.5 by 17s, but with chromos in the rear and the 44 up front, we're gonna go to 37s. It's set up for it. I can't wait to do it. It'll open up some doors. Don't know, I've had 2 JKs before this, but before those 2, I had almost the exact same Jeep, black TJ, except it was the 4-cylinder, and those aren't great. So we have the pavement ends, fast top, it's the bowless, so it's really quiet. Highly recommend those. Let's see. Jeep also does have a Terra Low 4-to-1 kit in it, which I'm telling you, in first gear, 488 gears front and rear, this thing barely moves. So, this is the air up system I came up with. I've done a few different variations of this. I prefer airing up 4 tires at once. They all air up at the same pressure. I just have to check one. I know they're all at it. This way I don't need a tank. I can pull one of the valves off of the tire and the others can still be filling. There are some downsides. You got to carry a bunch of extra hose, but the plus side is I have a bunch of extra hose. So what it is, simple junction box. I didn't even have this until a couple weeks ago. I just got some simple brass fittings and connected them all together, those 3 splitters, but this made it a little bit easier. So 4 tires, air it up at once, goes to one compressor, plug it into the battery. That simple. I run an Air Max air compressor. Those are for lowriders. They're much cheaper than the off-road brands that are out there, and they are very, very durable. They've been making them for years for air ride suspension, so they've got air compressors down. I've had some really good luck with the Air Max brand compared to others that I've ran over the past decade or so. Hit me up in the comments if you have questions about this. But it works well. It's not super fast, but it's faster than doing 1 tire at a time. Now, recovery gear. Always carry all this stuff with me. Big strap, smaller old strap. You never know when you're just gonna have to tow somebody in and need an old strap to do it with. That's too nice yet. Tree strap. My normal winch controller. In the box, we've got a backup winch controller. Straps. You never know when you need to do a Horton rig. Hook up somebody's floating rear axle. Snatch block. Some chains, some extra hooks, some D-rings. All this stuff always with me. I almost forgot. This goes in there too. We don't use a fridge. Never have. Just use coolers. We freeze water bottles. We freeze the water bottles we're going to drink, and that's what we use to keep our stuff cold. 2 for 1. It's like Tetris. Pretty much everything I put on top is all light stuff. Gotta keep that center of gravity as low as I can. We'll still have room to bring along a toy. I've been doing this so long, with so many camping trips. I've learned over the years what I use and what I don't. That's fully loaded. Everything you saw there. All fit into there. As you can see, it's not that crowded in here. Still a little bit of room. Still got a couple more bags. We'll fit in there. Overnight bag. I have a battery box that I put down there. It's a rechargeable battery box with solar panels that we sometimes carry with us. Won't need it on a single overnight. But I'll strap all this down. Just quick bungees here and there. It's pretty secure. But you'll notice there is more recovery gear and tools than there is anything else in here. I bring it all with me. You never know what's going to happen to me or my friends. So, if you liked what you saw today, if you have any questions, Leave a comment below. Please subscribe. I don't know, share some of your thoughts, opinions, how you would do it differently.